Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. And today, another amazing day on Marketing with Russ. Have my guest Julie Kirsch. It's going to be awesome. So you want to make sure and share this out. Tell your friends we're on live. Here we go. Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Special thank you to our sponsors of Marketing with Russ, Storm Painters of Albany, Oregon, Suzanne Bodlovic and State Farm Insurance, Best Heating and Cooling, and Capital Mortgage Source in Corvallis, Oregon. For more information on Storm Painters and their amazing painting services, go to stormpainters.com. Also, for information on Suzanne Bodlovic and State Farm, call 541-926-5501. And for information on Best Heating and Cooling and their heating and cooling services, go to best-heating.com. And finally, for more information on Capital Mortgage Source and their mortgage services, go to capitalmortgagesource.com. Music by Connor Hedge and Protestant, used with permission. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. It is so great to see you all here today. And I am looking as we're starting live. You know what? It's interesting because when you're live, it is what it is, right? And I just realized the microphone is on this morning, so we're going to fix that as we get going. There we go. Got to make sure things are all running smoothly for all of y'all. So thankful that you're here today on Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. And guess what? It is Thursday. Woohoo! I'm excited. You know what? We're here every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for your listening and viewing pleasure. That's right. We go live at 8 a.m. Pacific, but then it sits on LinkedIn and YouTube forever, Facebook for 30 days. So you could go back, and if you miss it, you can watch it forever, which is a reason why you should be part of our YouTube page, but I'll talk about that more here in a moment. Also, there's more. Wait, it transfers to audio podcast. So if you don't have time to view, you can listen to it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Would love to have you be part of that today. So check that out. Like, share, and comment on all those. We would love for you to engage. In fact, everybody out there, okay? Everybody out there, tag some people you know that are watching. And I know Royce, my favorite and our most consistent watcher and viewer, is there. Tag a couple people and tell them, guess what? Marketing with Russ is on. Julie's going to be on. You do not want to miss it. So, all right. Love that. You know, it's very exciting. We're in the holiday season. It's Christmas time. Woohoo. It's exciting, right? And I'm excited. There's a lot going on. I know there's some stresses in life too, right? I get that. But about that, enjoy what we got going on. Enjoy life, right? Just remember, behind me, life happens and then you choose, right? Life happens and then you choose. That's our hand signals for this book. And if you need encouragement right now, get a copy of that book. Go to russhedge.com today. It'll direct you to how to get the book, russhedge.com. Also, you could go directly to Amazon and get a book there as well as my other books. So I would appreciate that. All my books are available, russhedge.com or on Amazon. So go check that out today. And but you know what? It's a good way to encourage you. It's also a good Christmas present for your friends that are struggling with things and need encouragement and ideas on how to keep a good perspective. So through my cancer journey over the last 4 years, through my other challenges in life, which we all have our stuff, right? But I have learned so much that I pass along to you. And so that's why I think this would be a great Christmas gift and a great encouragement. So go to the link in the comments, pick up a copy today. It'll be there for you, or just go to russhedge.com. So what is Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie, all about? Well, we are all about how amazing people connect. That's right. Amazing people like Julie today, who's going to speak with us. You know, it is so amazing the connections that I get just talking to Julie about somebody I met yesterday, and information about how to get a billboard up in Times Square, something I never knew before. You meet people that know things. That is why we are better together. Come together with other people that know more than you do in other areas. You've got your talents and your God-given purpose, and they have theirs. And when you put them together, you're twice as strong. So today, just connect with people, build community. That's what we're all about. And of course, I love to connect with people. So go to russhedge.com for all the information about me, not just buy my books, all the information about me. And there's a free PDF download on connection that you should definitely get. That also helps you get my encouraging morning emails. That's all they're meant for, is just to encourage and lift you up. So I would ask you, go there today, get that free download. It would be great. Also, talked about YouTube, right? Okay, so I keep it simple. If you know my name, you know how to get to my website. If you know the name of this show, you can go directly to my YouTube page. Marketingwithruss.live will take you directly to my YouTube page. That's right. I have my own website link to go directly to my YouTube page. Something else I learned through connection and community building. So Russ, marketingwithruss.live. Also, right now, like I said, share this out, tag your friends, let people know we got stuff coming up. It's going to be good. You don't want to miss it. So, all right. Thank you for all that. So what else do we have? Well, I just want to tell you one more time how thankful we are for our sponsors. We are sponsor driven and listener driven. That's how we do what we do. Thank you to Stomp Painters, Suzanne Bodlovic State Farm, Best Heating and Cooling, and Capital Mortgage Source for being our sponsors for this episode. Also, listener supported. You can scan the QR code or go to the link in the comments. That's right. So many of you supported, and we're so thankful. That is how we keep broadcasting. So if you need to give some money before the end of the year, would love it if you would invest in what I call a ministry to get out the good word today. Value for you, good, positive content. We're in need of that today so much. Good, positive content. Thank you so much for all of that. All right. So I'm going to get moving on. But before we do that, before we get Julie in, we do our marketing tip of the day every Monday and Thursday. This is a little snippet, less than a minute long, that gives you just a little encouragement, pushes you that direction to make you better. And you know what? I'm telling you, this is going to be a good one today. So are you ready? Here we go. This is your marketing tip of the day. Make friendship your strategy. That's right. Make friendship your strategy. What do I mean by that? Well, I tell you that I have a actual thing that I put together, a class online. There you go. That is how to turn cold calling into making friends. That's right. Because I'm a firm believer that connection, community building, and making friends is how it all starts. That is the foundation for any good marketing plan, any good business, is connecting and building community. When you make friends, friends help friends. Friends work with friends. It's that know, like, and trust factor. When they know and like you and they trust you and become your friend, that's when people work together. And I can tell you, there's probably 90% of the business that I do is with friends. And so today I want to encourage you, build friendship, make that your strategy today. It's a great thing to do in the holidays too, right? Beautiful, wonderful time of the year. So make friendship your strategy, and that is your marketing tip of the day. All right, there we go. That'll get cut out, put separately on YouTube Shorts. It'll get put on social media separately, so you can actually just take the marketing tip of the day and share it. Comment, like. I would love it if you would do that. Engage with that in line as well. So thanks so much. And we're going to get Julie in now. She's back there thinking, am I ever coming in? All right, here we go. Hey, Julie.
Hi, nice to see you and everybody.
It's so great to have you here. That great smile. That really gets us going this morning. So let's start off with the basics. Who in the world is Julie Kirsch? What are you up to?
Yes, hi everybody. My name's Julie Kirsch. I'm founder of the Friendship Strategist. It's a platform all about mastering the art of networking. I do that actually on the side. It's born out of this passion and understanding of what Russ was really talking about, connection building, because by day, I'm a full-time marketer in strategy, but because of networking, building relationships and connections, I've been able to make big career pivots and career advancements through networking. So therefore, I have been writing about it, blogging about it, writing a book about it, of all these really amazing tips that can help others. And that's why I'm here today, to keep sharing that message. I also have a website, blog, and Instagram, all about sharing these helpful tips for others.
Well, I bet you couldn't tell that the marketing tip of the day was in your honor.
Yeah.
And so, it is such a simple idea, but it's really hard for people to do. It's not easy. And I think everybody needs to start with Dale Carnegie's book, right? How to Win Friends and Influence People, how to make friends and influence people. That is like a timeless book. It's old, but everybody should have read it 3 or 4 times, because the ideas in there is exactly what we're talking about. And I love the fact that you're working on people networking and connecting and building community, because so many great things come out of that. One connection leads to another, and next thing you know, you're connected with. I mean, sometimes I'm amazed, Julie. I'll be talking to, like the other day, I was talking to the former assistant GM of the Seattle Mariners, right? Somebody you wouldn't just walk into the office and talk to, right? But you are able to get to people. I was talking to, the last couple of years, talked to Broadway actresses and that have been on Broadway, and actors. We had a thing with the very first runner-up, Justin Guarini, who was the first runner-up to American Idol. He was on one of our live streams, and how connections led to connections. People who know people, right? And so you just build. It's not that I know all these famous people, and really, it doesn't really matter whether they're famous or not. I just use that as an example that one connection leads to another, right? And that's how you build, right, Julie?
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly don't like the phrase, it's who you know to get you the opportunity. But because I take a lot of time and effort building these relationships, gaining their trust, proving myself, that I have these champions on the inside. So that's how I've been able to make career shifts, especially if you're trying to ever pivot into a new career industry. That's why I think this connection and relationship building is the most important.
It is. Well, and I've learned that back early in my days, I did it all in person, right? I went to networking groups and chambers of commerce and all kinds of things, which I still do. But when COVID happened, we all were forced online. And I learned the principles work just the same. You could work together with groups and networking groups and all this stuff online. In fact, I don't recommend it, because I think face-to-face ultimately is the best thing. But you could literally stay in your room at your computer and do amazing connecting and community building with never leaving your house. Now, I don't recommend that you never leave your house, but I'm just saying there's so many opportunities nowadays. It's amazing. And that helps you grow in whatever your business is, right?
Right. It's a balance. I think you should do a little bit of in person and a little bit of online, where you could follow up if you maybe meet someone at a networking event and it's quite crowded and you don't get a lot of time with them. Ask them to connect follow up, and then you could have a 30-minute informational interview. Maybe you're interested in what they do. Maybe you just need a connection, or maybe they can introduce you to that next person. So I agree, like in person, now that we have that opportunity, is probably number one, but it needs to be a balance of just even posting, commenting, interacting with people on LinkedIn, and then even just one-on-one virtual meetings as well.
Exactly. And this is a continual process. Now, I'm sure I'd like you to comment on this, but this is my feeling. We talk about the know, like, and trust factor, and that's building community. But know, like, and trust is not a ladder. It's not to be celebrated and stopped when you get to the top. Know, like, and trust is a wheel. It continues to go. Know, like, and trust. Know, like, and trust. You have to continually, like you said earlier, put in continual effort to build community. And it doesn't stop, because the minute you stop, people have short memories. People forget you.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're trying to, but they forget you because they're so busy doing other things, right?
Right. I talk a lot about in my book and my writings about nurturing those relationships. It's kind of like a garden. You might plant the seeds, but you still have to take care of your garden. You have to water it. You have to weed it. You might have to tend to it. But I would also say that could seem really intimidating to a lot of people. But how I typically think about it is those champions, those people that are your top cheerleaders, that are your best connectors, put the most effort into them, have coffee with them, lunch, regular emails, even a simple text message, a Christmas card this time of year. Stay top of mind. But maybe people who are just professional acquaintances, you don't have to make continual effort, but maybe talk to them on LinkedIn, just send them a hello message, maybe catch up once in a while. So it's all about that balance, and your top champions, make sure you're putting the most nurturing effort into those people.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely. 100%. I agree with you. In fact, it's something that I put a lot of time into myself, because I feel like same thing goes when you're connecting and building community and being connected and nurturing those relationships is a constant ongoing thing. So I have found ways to be able to do that, because some people say, man, I just can't get together with everybody for coffee, or even online. It's so much work. Well, I found ways, give a little tip here. Every day I pick out maybe a dozen people that I send a text message to, or maybe a video message to, or something to make myself memorable and remind them I'm still here. I still care about them. I'll send things, say, hey, praying for you. Hope you're having a great day. Have a blessed Christmas, whatever. And, then they'll answer back, and you get a little give and take. Other thing is, when you get an opportunity to get out in front of people, do things that make you memorable. So if, I feel bad for the wallflowers that go to a networking event and they stand in the corner, right? So I normally pull them out, talk to them, introduce them to 3 or 4 people, try to get them going, right? But when you get up in front of people and you get an opportunity to say something, make yourself memorable. Do something that makes everybody laugh, or makes everybody chant after you, or do something, that you're there. I can tell you, when I go to a meeting, everybody knows I'm there, right? So everybody remembers me when I'm at that meeting. And so those are things you got to do as well, because you may not be able to talk to all those people, Julie, but they can see you and still have that moment of face-to-face connection, right?
Yeah. I have an approach that I use called always on networking, which means always putting your best self first, because you might not know who's watching. I've had really big opportunities come maybe when I'm presenting. I'm not able to talk to everybody in the crowd, but I didn't know somebody really important who had a big opportunity was watching. And through my connections, it came directly to me. It wasn't something that was posted. It wasn't something that was competitive. It was because they were able to see me, and I made sure I was showing my best skill set. I even say, while you're networking, you never know who might be watching you. I got a compliment a few weeks ago that they were so impressed how I was just introducing myself to everybody, reaching my hand out first. I didn't know they were watching. That's why it's this always on mentality of listening. So making sure you're hearing for the opportunities and when a connection might strike, and then taking your story and having it ready so then you can put that opportunity together.
Well, you and I have obviously had a brain meld. If you remember Star Trek, when, Spock used to do that, because we think exactly the same. You do want to put your best self forward. I had somebody a while back while I was going through my in the middle of my cancer journey. He messaged me, and he was at events I was at, but we never talked. But he knew who I was, and he connected with me. And then because of that, he and I became closer and talked more because of what he saw and what I was doing. The other thing is, I remember the company that I was with before COVID started, and I went out on my own in my own business. I was a sales and marketing manager, and I went to a district meeting with a bunch of other sales and marketing people and managers. And at that meeting, first thing I did was go around the room and shake hands, introduce myself to everybody, smile and have a short conversation, whatever. When I sat down, the person running the meeting says, "You could tell Russ is a connector and a marketer because watch what he did when he came." And so he then talks about me and what I did. And I wasn't trying to up anybody or do anything. I was just being friendly and talking to everybody because that's me. But like you said, putting your best foot forward right off the bat always makes a difference. First impressions, right?
Yeah. I did that once at a conference where I was a speaker, just did a breakout session. But what I did beforehand was make lots of friends, and I personally invited them to my session. I shook their hand. I talked to them. I said, "Will you please come? I would love to have you." And guess what? I had one of the highest attended sessions because I was genuine. I genuinely wanted them to come, but I probably made them feel comfortable. Think about if you're at a conference, you don't know really what session, you're just kind of picking on the title. But if a speaker came up to you and said, "I would love if you came," I also made sure to talk to people at the beginning of my session. But that also was kind of a trick because it helped my nerves for presenting because I was practiced talking and I got to know a few people and their stories so I could weave in some personal anecdotes.
Yes. Oh my goodness. First off, I want to say a quick note to everybody watching. So sorry, I got so engrossed in this that I completely forgot to put the comments up, and I appreciate everybody that's out there. But I want to say to you that is such a great strategy, and it's because it's authentically you too. That makes the difference. I think when people see somebody that is really authentic and somebody who is really natural, it draws them and it makes them want to come watch you and be with you. Plus, now they kind of feel like they have a little bit of a connection already, so that's going to draw them as well. And I have done that for two reasons, by the way. The second reason is I don't really ever get nervous because when I'm talking about things, there's so much me that I get so excited. I actually get energized by people, right? When I'm speaking, I love it. But it does also make it even more comfortable when you've already talked to people in the room and you're looking right at them and you've already talked to them and you know their names and all of that. It makes it even more comfortable. And so anybody who does get really nervous about speaking in front of people, it's a great strategy to actually get out there and get to know people ahead of time. And also it will draw people to your speaking as well at the event. So Julie, somebody calls you. Let's talk about practicality. I need help. I'm not attracting people. What do I do?
I probably would do a little bit of an assessment or audit on them, figuring out, to your point, like what is their passion? What is their skill set? Because I try to teach confidence as a tool in your toolkit of networking. You don't have to have the perfect confidence all day, every day, but use it when you're networking. How do you be confident? You lean on your skills that you know. We all have some sort of skill that we're really good at. So make sure you lean on it. And hopefully you're passionate. So when you know a skill and you're passionate, it's really easy to talk. That also makes quote unquote sales or selling yourself easy because, for example, when I talk about networking and the benefits of my workshop, I 100% genuinely believe this can help young professionals, emerging professionals, or career switchers. And if you have something you're passionate about and a skill you know, feel free to talk about it in like a highly valuable way because you will genuinely light up. But I would also say you have to network just to make those connections. You have to be able to get out there and not need something from everybody. You need to give a lot. You need to be out volunteering, helping others, posting other people's what they need. You need to comment. You need to be very interactive and it needs to be a two-way street. But if you do that, the returns come back usually tenfold.
Yeah. Well, that is so true. I love that. I love that. All of this takes some energy and getting out there. But when you are showing interest in other people, it makes them more interested in you, right? John Maxwell says people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. If you care about other people, they're going to care about you. If you want them to care about you, what you're talking about, you need to earn their trust and their right to care about you and what you're talking about. Otherwise, people are just like, yeah, yada, yada, yada. Great, great. I've heard it before, right? So, all right. So we're wrapping up here, and I need you to give us your gold nugget of the day. What do I mean by that? Just what you really want people to remember from our conversation from today. And then tell everybody how to get in touch with you so they can reach out.
Sure. The one thing I want people to remember is the always on networking approach, which means being a good listener and always putting your best foot forward. So when an opportunity arises, you are ready to make that connection. You can find me at thefriendshipstrategist.com. That's my blog. You can also follow me on Instagram at The Friendship Strategist. And connect with me on LinkedIn because a book will hopefully be coming out in 2026 about all these really amazing tips that will be a good reference guide that you can keep at your desk.
Yes, you definitely do not want to miss that, everybody. And all of her information is right there at the bottom of the screen. It's in the comments, it's in the show notes. And guess what? It's clickable. You do not have to remember. You just need to click on it and go to Julie. So there you go. So I'm just so grateful, Julie, that you're with us today. It's so amazing. We're going to have you back because you and I just like have such a similar mindset. And I just want to encourage everybody to reach out and be blessed by Julie, because what she is doing and what she's encouraging and what she is teaching is right on, spot on. So thank you so much, Julie.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Hey, hang tight. I'm going to send you to the green room, but I'll be right there. Okay. All right, everybody. Wow. Amazing. She and I are speaking the same language for sure. It is all about connection, community building. It's networking with other people. It's nurturing those relationships and building community. It's a constant ongoing thing, and it does take effort. It does take energy. Reaching out, commenting on other people's social media, going to other people's events, seeing what's going on and connecting with people both live and in person, that good balance. It is such a great thing, and you need to listen to what Julie said. So good, so good. So just want to thank you all for this amazing year. It's not wrapped up yet, but we're getting close. Christmas time is coming, and I want to wish everybody a blessed and Merry Christmas. Just want to remind you of our amazing sponsors, Tom Painter, Suzanne Bodlovic, State Farm, Best Heating and Cooling, Capital Mortgage Source, and remind you that we are listener supported. Please scan the QR code or go to the comment or the link in the comments. Every little bit helps so we can continue to bring amazing people like Julie to you. So thank you so much for that. Also, don't forget, behind me, pick up your copy of Life Happens and Then You Choose. You'll be encouraged. You can get it in ebook or Kindle, also in paperback and in hardback. Would love for you to do that. So thanks so much for that. And with that, we're going to wrap everything up for today. So thanks again. Again, if we don't see you, have a wonderful Christmas, but we will be here Monday. So come join us. Okay. Thanks, everybody. See ya. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.